We good? Live on Facebook. But I gotta do this. Let me let everybody say hey to Val.
Hello.
Okay. We don't want to put fingers right there. Okay. You give me one of these and a whiteboard, and most people that know me very well know I'm in a very happy place. So I'm going to get going on this. People can rewatch this later if they want to, and ask questions, comment down below. If you are joining, you can ask questions along the way. I'll probably answer questions after the fact. But we're going to get to this video here in a second. 6 hurdles to purchasing a home. And the reason that I want to do this video is because the more I talk to people, I love to teach and help and to bring knowledge to a situation where maybe there's not knowledge. The more often I talk to people, especially my friends when we're in just casual conversations, I hear their experiences in real estate, and a lot of times it's, my agent never told me this, I felt uninformed about this, I didn't know this, oh wow, wish we would have known that when we purchased our home. So I want to give you kind of the basics to purchasing a home, so at least there's a video that you can revert back to say, okay, what can I expect next if I want to purchase my own home? So let's get started, and I'll also let you know that coming soon, the part about coming soon, I know we talked about some different things happening with Excellecore Real Estate, is that we are developing a YouTube channel where we're going to break these individual pieces down into more bite-sizable videos, 2 to 5 minutes long, something like that, and just break down some of the maybe idiosyncrasies or some of the smaller pieces and parts to each hurdle that you might see here. And there's so much more information about selling a home and maybe renting a home, all different kinds of things that we could talk about. So we are going to be launching the Excellecore Real Estate channel very, very soon. Stay tuned for that. So with that said, let's get started with the 6 hurdles to purchasing a home. First hurdle, so we've got our start right here. You want to buy a home, the first thing that you need to be able to do is know, can you? Do you have the ability, money-wise, to purchase a home? And is your credit in such a situation that it will allow you to purchase a home? So it's about character and ability. The credit's going to look at the character, the money's going to look at the ability. What do we call that? We're going to call that a pre-qualification. Now, you've probably heard pre-approval, you may have heard pre-qualification. Those terms sometimes get interchanged and they really should not. A pre-qualification is just a really quick look at maybe your credit and listening to you about how much money that you make. If you want to take it a step further, which I recommend, you want to get what's called a pre-approval. Okay, so again, the first hurdle to overcome is to get pre-qualified, pre-approved. What that means is they're taking a real hard look at your income. Maybe you provide them with your W-2s, if you have a W-2 type job, or your taxes, tax history. But anyway, we want to eventually get to what's called a pre-approval, where the bank gives a thumbs up to your credit and your ability. Okay, first hurdle. Second hurdle we want to search for homes. Now, you might say, well, what price should I search for homes? You can search for any price. You can purchase any home that you want, no matter how much you're pre-approved for. Well, Jeremy, how can you say that? All it has to be based on is down payment. You can look for $1 million home if you're approved for a $200,000 loan, as long as you put $800,000 down. I'm not trying to be silly about that, but I'm just saying that down payment counts. So if you're looking to purchase a home, I would suggest start saving money for your down payment. We can get into a whole other video later about the different kinds of loans and kind of the benefits and drawbacks to each. But you want to be able to search for homes, you can go to www.excellecorerealestate.com. Sign up on there, it's free. There's all kinds of various utilities you can have on that website, but you can search for homes from there. Next hurdle we want to overcome is we want to negotiate the offer. Now, this is what's very interesting about this. You need to have an agent on your side that is negotiating for you. So a lot of times people have the mindset, well, if I go to the listing agent, maybe I could get a better deal. Let me explain something to you. A listing agent represents the sellers. His job, her job, is to get the very highest price for the sellers that is possible. The job of an agent that's representing the buyer is to get the very best deal or the lowest price possible. Those two things are at odds. It's just like the prosecution and the defense attorneys. They're at odds. One's trying to win. Now, Here's the thing, how would you know if you actually won the negotiation process? You need to have an agent who understands the market. If properties are going for, say, 2% discount in the market as a general rule, and your agent gets you 4%, then your agent won those battles of negotiation. It's just about mathematics. But I'll also tell you this is what's interesting. You need to have an agent that understands what the individual properties are worth. And here's why. Do you realize that you could get an amazing steal of a deal by going over list price? You say, well, Jeremy, how could you do that? Well, if the property, let's just say we take a property that's worth $250,000 on the market, but the sellers had to sell fast, so they listed at $230,000. You offer $240 because there's several people bidding on the property, and you got it $10,000 below value, even though you went over list price. So I hope that kind of makes sense. But the only way you would know that is if you have an agent who understands the market. And I'm telling you, we train the agents at Excellecore Real Estate to know the market. We do lots and lots and lots of what's called broker price opinions. We do lots of what's called comparative market analysis. So we understand how to negotiate the offer. Now, next hurdle to overcome, inspections. Once you've landed a contract, we got to overcome the inspections. Always, 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 always get an inspection. Why do I say that? You do not necessarily know what's behind door number 1, door number 2, which are the walls, which is the ceiling, which is the roof, which is under the ground. Get an inspection. There are lots of inspectors out there, lots of inspection companies out there. You want to make sure that you go with one that's very reputable. Your agent, or if you're coming to Excellecore, we do have inspectors that we do work with, that we do trust, that give really good reports, but always, always, always get an inspection. You never, ever, ever know what you're going to run into. In fact, we, the Rickard family, ran into a house where there was mold in the air conditioning unit. We found that out way, way, way late. And that obviously affected our family. I don't want that happening to you. I'm very sensitive to that kind of a thing. So we want to make sure that we check the house out, make sure it's in good working order. Once that hurdle is accomplished, we're going to move on to something. We're going to say appraisal and what was we going to call it? Loan conditions. Okay, so there might be certain things that your lender says have to be accomplished. We'll call those loan conditions, and part of the loan conditions usually is the appraisal. You want to make sure that the home that you're purchasing, the contract price, that it's worth that. You never want to purchase, say, a $250,000 home, and the appraisal comes back and it's worth $245,000. Somehow or another, somebody got something wrong on the negotiations or something. So again, that takes us back to understanding how to negotiate the offer. You need an agent who understands how to do that. Appraisal, this is a big one. We have had situations where appraisals are semi-subjective, meaning it's on a lakefront and maybe one appraiser gives it a certain value, or maybe one appraiser gives a pool more or less value than another appraiser would. That can happen. But this is a big one. Once we clear this hurdle, we're really close to the finish line. And then the last one down here is you've probably heard the term closing. So we go to the closing table where we close the deal. But another thing that I want to draw to your attention is that it needs to have a funding, or it needs to be funded. So we say, okay, Jeremy has the deal closed yet. That's one thing. That's when you're sitting at the table and pretty much everyone is signed. The buyers and sellers have signed the contracts. That's one thing. Funding means if you have a loan that the money has gotten to the title company or the closing attorney, whoever's closing the deal. The monies have all been wired there and it's all been accounted for. At that point, the title company or the closing attorney will say the deal is funded and closed, and at that point you are handed the keys to your brand new home or gently used home or whatever. But at that point, that's when we would say we are at the finish line. That is as brief as I can get it, overview of 6 hurdles to purchasing a home. So that literally is the process. You got a pre-approval, pre-qualification. We want to search for homes, find a home. We want to negotiate the offer to your benefit. Get in that home. We want to make sure that there's inspections that are done, and we clear those inspections. We're okay with them. The loan conditions in the appraisal are done, and then we close and fund the loan, and you're in your new home. So That is kind of a brief overview. Again, the channel is going to start to dive in a little bit deeper. If you want some more knowledge, I want to give away as much value and as much knowledge as possible. It excites me to teach. I love teaching. I want to start doing more of that, and I want to know what your questions are. If there's something particular, even on a sales side or a rental side or an investment side that you want to know, I want to know what you want to hear about, the videos that you want to hear. Let me know in the comments section. I greatly appreciate you guys watching who have watched today, and for those of you that watch later, appreciate it. Remember, excellence is at the core of who we are. Excellence is at the core of who we are. When I was young, my parents told me, says, Jeremy, if you're going to do anything, do it with excellence. And it was just at the core of who I am. Therefore, we named the company Excellecore. We'll see you guys next time.